Aloha and welcome back. I'm Panther and this is Mushroom Kingdom Fusion. So I haven't tested a couple of things with Samus yet, and that would be the Plasma Beam and the Screw. Kind of worried about them, to be honest. Okay, it fires way faster, which I'm very happy about. Actually, I do like the double jump feature of having the thing. Is that okay for them taking away one of her health? No. No, not at all. One of the commenters on Name is Useless, I think was their tag, pointed out, functionally there shouldn't be a reason to alter Samus. She's already really fucking powerful. So just leave her alone. Like, I would have been completely okay if they just didn't touch her and focused on the rest of the characters, bringing them up to her level. Instead, we've got this thing of like, yeah, cool, the Plasma Beam's now really useful. And the Screw Attack is way more useful because you get to control when you do that portion. But losing a health to get that is not okay. Because again, I have to keep pointing this out. They've made this game where you are punished for dying, and Samus, being as powerful as she is punished heavier for dying than most other characters are. I mean, she doesn't lose her stuff on taking hit, which is cool. I wish other characters would have that too. Here's a thought process for you all. So the idea of permanent upgrades is definitely a strong one going on through this, because if Castlevania and Metroid are a part of this fusion thing, permanent upgrades should be considered. However, instead of just you buy them in the store or something like that, what if you go through a special stage that you're restricted down to a very specific character? Let's take the one we have in front of us, a Metroid level. And you're going through as either... there's two ways this can go. You can either go through it specifically only with Samus, and then at the end of completing this stage and getting all eight red coins, you get a permanent upgrade for everybody else to have something akin to her upgrades, like a permanent additional health, or something like that, because they already had something like that with the Megaverse. Or this might be a good way to do this. You go through a stage with a specific character other than the character that is specified for that level. In this case, a Metroid level. Going through with Samus, it would just be a normal level. But if you go through it with, like, Mario, he gets a special upgrade that is permanent because you went through all this effort to get it, that is now just tied to him. So, like, a health up, or like, while he's in any form, he can turn into the Morph Ball. I don't know. Like, the concept is more that instead of you just buy this permanent upgrade, you have to first get to that special level. so you can have it still tied to like progression and stuff like that. And 2, have it that either A, you need to have that specific character unlocked, so in this case Metroid, Samus, or when you're going through with another character, they get a specific upgrade. So you have to, in order to get the upgrade for like Arthur, you have to weather this stage with Arthur to get that upgrade. That would be a lot of work, but I would think that would probably be the best way to do this permanent upgrade idea. Because, let's be honest, if you're getting it from the concept of Castlevania and Metroid, most of their permanent upgrades you couldn't buy in a shop. You had to explore a level to get it. I feel that would be a good halfway point for the whole fusion idea. Sorry. Also, because I haven't said in these type of videos, you all are awesome in the comments and whatnot, and this would probably be the last time I'm saying this, just because I don't want to like say it so much that it loses its meaning. But you guys in the comments are so awesome. The reason I don't ask you guys for subscribe to my channel or like a video, if you're gonna do that, you're gonna do that. If it takes me to remind you to do that, then maybe my content just wasn't good enough for that sort of thing. That's it. I shouldn't have to remind you of something that right now you've heard so many times from so many other freaking people that if you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. I'm not gonna make you do it. Second, when it comes right down to it, like, I've had a couple of comment bite backs as of late. I don't like making short, oh, that was cool, messages. As you guys probably noted in, when I want to say something, I take a lot of time to do it. It's one of the reasons why I never enjoyed going on Twitter, and right now, because it's even more of a dumpster fire, I'm glad I never got into that sort of thing. I like having room to talk because I try my best to have my comments say what I'm trying to say. That doesn't always work. That's the problem with an ADHD brain and just the way our world is currently. But I try. So for all of you guys who are like leaving comments and stuff like that, thank you. Like, really, thank you. Because even when I know you guys really, really want to be mad and upset and do stuff and yada, 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 the fact that you're kind enough not to initially do that, I really am thankful for that. If I am doing something that upsets you, do let me know, but be kind about it. Like, don't use profanity when it's not necessary. Like, if I'm truly doing something that is upsetting you, then yeah, use profanity. Show that you're upset. But if you're just using it when I'm like sitting here talking and that's annoying to you, you can skip forward in the video. Like, be aware of that. If I'm missing something in the terrain, if it's like once or twice, don't be profanity on that. I know it's annoying, but first off, ADHD brain, and second off, when you're combining having to commentate on things and moving around, you miss stuff. But if it's like 50 times, yeah, go ahead, read me about that, because holy crap, I should have noticed by now. Anyway. On another portion, you can probably hear it in my voice, there's a reason why I didn't have any uploads yesterday, and that was because I have a movie club that I do with my friends to watch like a couple of movies at the end of the month, the first weekend of the end of the month. So if the end of the month lands on a Wednesday, we don't do it on Wednesday. But when this time around, I was talking to a friend about a show I'm trying to make. And by the way, that show is by myself, so don't expect it to come out in the next year. Like, it's gonna take a while. But I was talking to him about some things, because I have the story for the show already down. Mostly. I'm still crafting some parts, this and that. But I spent 4 hours talking. Just almost non-stop. And I, being the hyper-attentive dumbass that I was, had a can of soda at the start of the 4 hours and never drank anything else for the next 3.5 hours. So, yeah, my voice was raw. And I came up with the joke that is kind of crass, but also I find it incredibly funny. Because I'm sure a number of the individuals who are watching my stuff are old enough to have heard the, quite frankly, very boring joke at this juncture of, I came in from X location. I flew in from X location. Boy, are my arms tired. It's like, oh, hey, yeah, cool, awesome. I came up with the joke of, oh man, I just got a raise and boy, is my throat tired. It's like, I'm sorry, how are these two things wait, no, I probably don't want to know how these two things are connected. I like that type of humor. My favorite comedian, by the way, I'm not a God-fearing individual, but he very much was. So in that regard alone, God rest his soul. Red Skelton. Oh my god. My favorite joke from him is such a simple one, but it is such a good one. So he was going to one of the big galas, because back before Jim Carrey was a thing, he was the king of ad-lib. Because at the time he was around, there was no recording. It was a one and done deal. Like, when you were making something, you were also airing it. So he had to ad-lib everything. But one of his favorite stand-up, well, not favorite, one of my favorite things that he did of stand-up was he got up in front of a crowd and he was just like, oh man, like the reception here for me was just so fantastic. Like, I got up and like I was in the middle of this giant crowd. Someone in the crowd just like, Red Skelton's in the crowd. They all turned and looked at me. Oh man, I was so embarrassed. I'm sorry I yelled. Oh, I love it. I love that type of humor where it's subtle, it makes you think, it gives you time to think, but also, you know, at the end of it all, if you don't get it, that's fine. It's okay. He constructed quite a few characters. They're dropping health a lot more. You all notice that? I will definitely say, if they are dropping health more as a part of the things, the drop in hit points, I'm okay with. Because the biggest problem I had with any characters that had hit points is they basically never got refills. Oh, let's try this. Okay, still can't do that. That's not cool. Please, stop barring people from using their jump stuff when they're holding things. I'm not joking. It's actually super annoying. Like, it pretty much makes any level that you're required to have a gun, you can't play it with Sonic or Tails. That's not cool. Like, you're barring characters when you're trying to tell people that you don't bar characters. Just, no, don't do that. Anyway, and gripes aside, yeah. Awesome. You've found the Amazon's most reclusive tribe. They're rumored to host great secrets. Once peaceful, the tribe recently went hostile to all outsiders. Of course, the rebels invading their space are involved. Perhaps further inside, you'll discover what it is the tribe guards so closely. The screw attack being able to do a double jump is greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
The reason why I still worry, though, again, they've shown that they're willing to, the developers of this, have shown that they're willing to take something away if they feel that's what balances out adding something. Just don't. Like, at this particular point, just don't. I really am serious about that. Like, don't nerf characters in a game like this, because you already have nerfed them. They are not... I tried to jump off and grab the hit point. They're not as powerful as they were at the start. That's just how it is. So, taking away even further from them feels like you're favoring Mario and Luigi, when what you should be trying to do is buff them up. Because as it stands, you're not. You're just letting them be themselves, but making everybody else conform to them, which is just like, that's not the fusion thing that you're talking about here. That's Mario bleeds. And I mean, cool, if that's what you're trying to go for, change the name. And yeah, you can argue like, well, the name's already there. Mushroom Kingdom Fusion. It's like, cool, then why can't I play as Peach? Like, fuck it, just make it that most of the characters are from Mario World. Screw it. Like, at that juncture, just go with the thing of it's Mario in other worlds. Because it's pretty clear that you're not caring about the actual crossover aspect of it, and you're caring more about having Mario play in other worlds. So just go and lean into that. And stop teasing this idea of having other characters there. First off, that will help you guys, because, or the developers, because they don't have to worry about anybody else other than the main cast of Mario, which all pretty much play the same outside of some very minor changes. So there, they don't have to worry about that anymore. Yeah, it's like it falls into this category of feeling upset because of the world that is being very heavily, not promised, shown is not what I'm seeing. Like, don't get me wrong at all. Like, holy crap, you guys have put so much effort into, everything else that's here. That is really cool, but that's what makes me so upset when you guys take things away. Just don't. Like, you guys are already doing so many things. You're gonna complicate yourselves if you start focusing on, alright, what do we need to take away? That is an additional step you guys are having to think about. Like, you really are, because now you're questioning, okay, what do we take away from other characters to balance them out? Instead of, you know, hey, let's just make this way. Okay.
Thank you.
The reason why the portion of my brain is so upset at this is I like crossovers. And when a crossover isn't done well, which is most of the time, it upsets me. It really upsets me because they have, most of the time, the crossovers, let's be honest, aren't particularly good. Like, the idea behind, Spawn and Batman crossover sounds cool, but when you really look at it, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Terminator and RoboCop, like, if you don't know the two properties, yeah, that sounds like it would work. When you know the two properties, it's like, what? And that's the problem. When you have individuals who are just trying to make something for the sake of making, which these guys are not, like, they're putting far too much effort in for it to be seen as that at all. But when you have other people doing it, it shows when you start backpedaling on ideas that you had. It shows that you're... Okay, so the bigger problem is, especially with the world the way it is right now, if you weren't willing to do something in the first place, then you shouldn't have done it. If you're dumbing down one character to make another character seem better, you're not actually making that character better. You're just dumbing down one character to make another one look better. Be it story or mechanics, it does not matter. That's the problem you're facing. So, I definitely say that the current choice of things, I don't agree. I don't agree with the idea of having any character dumbed down because none of them need it. Addition. I say additionally because you guys already started off with dumbing down characters. Samus doesn't have her 99 hit points. She had 5. And then you took that away even further. It's like, your levels are not made to handle that. Like, especially the levels where there's lots of running and gunning and stuff like that. Oh my god. Holy shit, how are we supposed to get through it? And if it's get good, then make all your levels that way. No, I'm serious, because I'm sick and tired of random difficulty spikes. Take the time to understand what difficulty you're trying to go for, and go for it. You want this to be casual, with some challenge levels on the side? Cool. Make those challenge levels not mandatory. I'm looking at you, Robot History Museum. Because I'm okay with the Robot History Museum being a challenge level. Why? Because, yeah, okay, cool. That is a challenge level. You're not going to hear me say otherwise. But because it's a mandatory level, it makes every frustration you run into and every instant death scenario, which feels all the worse when you have characters who lose their shit on death. Yeah, no, it feels terrible. It feels bad, and if you're making your players feel bad for playing your game, you have to actually take the time and look into what type of game are you trying to make. Because if it is just a love letter to the 80s, realize that there were games that weren't that difficult. Like, I get that the meme is that 80s games were way more difficult, but the reality is, not all of them were. Like, there were very easy games, there were casual games, there were very tough and unforgiving games. But then there was a lot of games that they were tough and unforgiving because the fucking mechanics did not work with you, they were against you. I want you to point me to individuals who like having the mechanics not work with them but against them. Because so far, in every space that I've looked, it has always been the same thing. They want the mechanics to work with them, not against them. And if it does work against them, they want to be informed. They want to know that it is working against them so they can properly deal with it. Because every other case in point, it comes down to the developers putting in stuff to make the player feel powerful when they really aren't. Guess what? That backfires once someone finds out about it. You're effectively telling a lie and hoping people don't find out. I'll tell you right now, don't do that. We live in the day and age where that shit will come out, people will find out, and your shit will be on the fucking burner for it. And I don't want you guys to be on the burner for it. I really don't. Because, like, I don't want the developers of this game to get backlash for stuff that, quite frankly, they shouldn't. Like, they've put so much care and love into a lot of these levels. A lot of them. Even something like the Robot Museum, as annoying as it was, as painful and difficult spike heavy as it was made with care, with love, and with actual understanding of how the mechanics work. I hate that mechanic, and very much can point to a trillion other fucking places that say the same fucking thing. So unless they are living in a bubble, they should be aware that that is not a loved mechanic. But at the same time, I get that, you know, not having a level like that doesn't feel great. Like, because that is something the older, especially 80s games had. They had ice levels and shit like that. Cool. I'm not saying don't have it, period. I'm saying don't make it mandatory to have it. Because I'll tell you right now, again, and I'll say it again and again and again, you don't, if you are trying to aim to make your players feel bad, you need to really think about what type of game you're trying to make. Because at the end of it, how many people really did play I Want to Be the Guy? Because I Want to Be the Guy is a game that deliberately tries to screw you over in every single avenue or concern. And yeah, there were people who played it. There were more people who watched it because they liked watching people suffer. They didn't want to be the one that suffered, though. So, what type of game are you guys making? Is it Mario goes into all these other worlds and has some characters helping him out? If that's the case, cut out Sonic and Tails. I'm not joking. Like, cut them out. Like, right now, most of your levels, they can't play it. They move too fast for the levels that require you to slow down and think. And because picking up objects disables their entire ability to stomp on foes, aka the majority of the way they attack people, they can't be used in any of the levels that you pick up stuff to shoot people with.
Thank you.
So, yeah, again, what game are you trying to make? Because, all honesty, the game I see before me doesn't know where it wants to go. And that is the honest truth of what I see before. Because before this, it was like, okay, I see where they're trying to head, and I'm okay with it. Now, with you guys, with the developers shifting to nerfing characters opposed to buffing characters. I did both the same. The fact that they did it once means they absolutely could and probably will do it again. And I have no... basically, they have not set any guidelines or rules for their own stuff on how they're going to end up doing it. Which means they very much could, and probably will, just nerf a character. And if that happens, I don't know if I'll be able to continue playing this. That's cool, that now the wave beam destroys blocks. Oh, Jesus. Whoa, where'd you come from? You don't look like the locals from around here. I can't tell you... I can't let you pass this point, ma'am. There's a massive gathering of troops up ahead. You encountered the rebel army before? Well, why didn't you say so? Tell you what, my squad's waiting on the other side of the dam. If you can reach them in one piece, we can organize a ride for you to get out of this miserable place. Consider this a training session.
Heavy machine gun. Thank you.
I'll catch you all in the next episode. My throat's already pretty sore. I wanted to make at least one video on this so that I show that I am still continuing on. I haven't moved anywhere, but that's okay. My grumblings aside, the upgrades they have put out are nice, but again, with them backpedaling on some features of other characters, it's like I am worried about where this is going, because at current it doesn't feel like it knows where it wants to be, and that is a terrible thing for a game to have. Anthem suffered from that. I don't need to remind you guys how absolutely a shit show that was, but it didn't know where it wanted to be. Is this the same thing? No, in a lot of ways. But at the same time, please, like, guys, if the developers ever hear this, you need to communicate with each other, have sort of a unified rule set that you guys are going to be playing by, and make sure none of the characters step outside of those rule sets. Don't make exceptions. Why? Because then you're going to start having people start getting used to those exceptions, expecting those exceptions, because they don't see your rule set. We don't see the rules they're playing by. So, yeah, it doesn't feel like the developers actually really know what they're wanting to do. It felt like it before, but after seeing all these changes to the characters and hearing from you guys on how many other characters have been just nerfed, I don't think... And something that I have been seeing throughout all this is just... Yeah, I get it that it's built off of the framework of Super Mario World. I get that. But at the same time, it is so much more than that now. Why not let it be something more than that? Like, let Mario be something more than Mario. Let Luigi... you already still have the classic versions in there, who are designed to be difficult to play. Why not make the OG characters start to evolve and change and, like, allow the fusionistic effects to affect them? Because right now, it feels like the effects of that aren't effects, they're debilitations. And sure, you can have that story going, but it feels like they're only debilitating everyone who isn't Mario and Luigi. Which isn't fun. At all. Anyway, I'll catch you all in the next episode. Have fun, be safe, and aloha.